Good evening and welcome to Weather Fans Live here on Thursday, the 24th of August 23. Hope everyone is well this evening. Just me tonight. Tonight we're just going to be taking a look at this weekend's bank holiday weekend weather and latest what's going on in the tropics. I might have a little look at the extended look for the rest of August, which will take us through, I think it's like the 1st of, clearly the 1st of September. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment. Just put that there. We definitely tell that we're starting to lose light a bit earlier because it's a bit darker in here. As we're heading towards the latter part of August, just a matter of time before it starts getting darker around about 8 o'clock at night, but we won't think about that quite yet. Right, so let's go straight onto it and have a look at the very latest radar. Just bear me a second while I get the screen share up. And the very latest radar from windy.com. And let's move away from there a second. It's dry across much of England and Wales, a few showers across the East Anglia down to the southeast. We'll move on to that in just a moment. Some rain or showers towards Northern Ireland and parts of Scotland. This is where we've got the area of low pressure circulating around, so that's bringing like a spell of rain for parts of western Scotland to central areas. Further south, along the south coast today, or very close to, we've had quite a few thunderstorms literally just skimming across the southern counties of England. Some places have had some thunderstorms down in the far southeast, and as you can see, pinging away, we've got some thunderstorms just in nearby France, affecting parts of Calais and Dunkirk. These are steadily moving northeastwards into Belgium. Looking at the latest track, that'll probably head. Once I go along just inland, actually, possibly heading up in this current situation, heading up towards Antwerp in the next couple of hours or so, if it doesn't dive before then. This is in association with an area of low pressure, which I'll show you on the facts charts in just a moment. But no more is expected for the far southeast, so a few showers there. But these are certainly going well across through the channel and into nearby France and into Belgium as well. So let's have a look at the satellite imagery just before darkness starts to descend in that area. So make sure the screen shares on. Yep. So these are the thunderstorms that affected parts of the far southeast earlier on today, and as you can tell, the visual satellite, it starts to get dark in this part of the world. So really some big thunder tops there in association with that. Let's go on to the synoptic facts charts from the Met Office. So what we've got is an area of low pressure anchored towards the northwest of Scotland. That is the one that's producing that rain or showers to parts of Scotland into Northern Ireland. We've had a weakening front crossing the England-Wales during today, but that's nothing much left on it. The showers that affected parts of southeast England and southern counties is in association with this development little area of low pressure. The centre at midday was run just inland, not too far from Calais. But if we move that forward 12 hours, sorry, move that forward, yes, 24 hours in fact, and by lunchtime tomorrow, that area of low pressure will moved into Scandinavia, and that cold front would have cleared parts of the low countries. And tomorrow we are expecting some showers in association with this our area of low pressure, which is moving a bit further towards the eastern side of Scotland, But what this is bringing down now is a few more showers. So we're expecting a few more showers around today. Anywhere really across England and Wales. Nowhere is really prone. Maybe very, very far southeast of England for any showers. The winds are starting to turn more into a west to northwesterly before the ice bars run. I'll take it through up into more Scandi really. So feeling a little bit cooler, especially down in the south where it's been quite humid today with those thunderstorms. So temperature will be back down to the high teens, perhaps the very low 20s at tops, maybe 21, 22 at extreme tops. We've got high pressure sat out into the Atlantic. And we've got weather fronts going into the central Atlantic. So we've moved that forward into midnight into Saturday. And that low pressure is still sat across the UK, still bringing more showers, but feeling a lot cooler the last few days, as I mentioned. And that high pressure still sat towards the west of the UK. So more showers expected through into Saturday as well, with another trough through the country, and perhaps rain or showers again for the far north of Scotland. Then Sunday, that trough starts to clear away from the southeast, still giving a few showers down towards East Anglia in the southeast, and we're getting this ridge of high pressure moving up to western areas on Sunday. But it looks like Sunday at this stage will be the dry day before more weather fronts moving from the west on late Sunday. So I would I would say that more central southern areas will be dry on Sunday, away from western areas, and looks like a few showers perhaps running down the North Sea coast there through Sunday. And as we head into Monday, we've got a few weather fronts around. So again, for Bank Holiday Monday, it was like introduces some rain or showers, more for western areas. It's like eastern areas. Currently with this chart will stay mostly dry, and looks like a low pressure is like developing there towards our southwest heading into next week. So let's have a look at the UKV and see what that is showing for the rainfall for the next few days over the bank holiday weekend. So this is from 6 o'clock. So those showers, thunderstorms on southern counties, as we see on the latest radar, these are more or less into the France and coming into Belgium right now. Sorry, that's not from 6 o'clock. That's from 4 o'clock this afternoon. So that'll be about right, yes. So rain or showers still continuing for parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland during the night. Then through tomorrow, especially for western areas, parts of the Midlands, we expect some scattered showers. Some of these could be on the heavy side, the risk of hail and thunder. And these should mostly start to die away from any areas during the night, but these have still got them continuing for parts of northern England and southwest England during the night. Then again, Saturday, we're expecting showers across much of the UK, well, all the UK really. Again, some of these could be heavy and thundery. And then these ease off during the night before the next set of weather fronts moving from the west. These are showing those showers down eastern areas through Sunday. Much of central Scotland, much of Scotland, away from western areas, through into much of central and southern England will stay dry. It's just more coastal areas which will be affected by the rain or showers through Sunday. So definitely this bank holiday weekend will be drier. Will be the drier out of the bank holidays. I know Scotland haven't got a bank holiday. Then through Monday, saying that this is not showing too much in the way of rain or showers through Monday. And that's the end of that run, actually. So that does actually take us through into the early hours of Tuesday. So that does take us through the bank holiday weekend. So let's have a look at the latest GFS model for this coming week. So let's have a look at the upper air temperatures. So the reason why we've had the thunderstorms down in the far southeast is the temperature contrast there. You've got the 15-degree isotherm just on the northern tip of France there, and the far southeast have just been on the edge of this boundary between the cooler air towards the northwest and the warmer air, much hotter air towards the southeast. And with this heat and humidity, these are what's been causing the thunderstorms down to the southeast and parts of northern France. But as we go through Friday night, that cooler air winds through, and much of the UK, all of the UK is under cooler conditions, with the winds originating ground from Scandinavia. As we go through into Sunday, we're still in the cool conditions. Just bear me 1 second. Okay, as we head through Sunday, we're still under cool conditions, and still no signs through into next week of any warmer conditions coming through, with low pressure sat virtually on top of the UK, giving us spells of rain or showers. All the heat is now suppressed into the Mediterranean and towards the far east of Europe. And as we head into next weekend, still no signs of really any heat coming towards the UK. What we're seeing, actually, this could be a tropical storm, which we'll have a look at in just a moment, coming up from the eastern seaboard of the United States, which will bring up lots of heat, as you can see, right up into the mid-latitudes. How that interacts with jet stream is to be confirmed as yet. For these little systems could cause havoc in the computer systems, and they've struggled to cope with what's going to happen with that system. But this one is showing quite a potent area of low pressure towards Iceland there. We've got that cold air sitting up towards the far north of Greenland, and that warm air being pushed up from that tropical storm. Set up a nice little North Atlantic storm there. That looks like it does actually bring an area of high pressure across the UK at this stage for the first week of September, and warmer air isn't too far away from the southeast. So the high pressure does actually move in across there, but moves up towards Scandi at the end of day 10. Potentially could tap into some warmer hot air towards the end of the first week of September. So that's definitely one to watch. But later on, there's another tropical storm or hurricane out there in the mid-Atlantic. I'm not sure if that's even formed yet, but that definitely looks quite potent there before turning cooler at the end of this latest run. During the September is the peak of the hurricane season, and the computer models do struggle of what is expected coming up. The uncertainty is a lot higher in September than most of the months due to the tropical Atlantic, especially now really winding up into peak season. Let's have a quick look actually at this morning's run to see if that's got a very similar setup. So there's that warm air clearing off far down from the far southeast. We're in that cooler conditions. And airflow pressure sinks down across the UK through next week and just sits on top, bringing spells of rain or showers. And I was like, air high pressure does actually also build on this one through the first week of September, settling things down for a while. Does that try and tap into any warm or hot air? Not quite. It just keeps out into the low countries before the Atlantic, tries to turn things cooler. We've got the -5 isotherm actually appearing there. So there's actually signs there of things settling down towards the first week of September at this stage. The latest couple of runs is suggesting that, but we shall see. Speaking of the tropical Atlantic, let's move on and have a look at the very latest with the tropical Atlantic. So let's have a look at disturbances first before we have a look at Franklin. We've got disturbance number 3 in the northwestern Caribbean Sea. A broad area of low pressure centers over Central America is forecast to move into northwestern Caribbean Sea by the weekend. Some gradual development of the system is possible thereafter into early next week, and a tropical depression could form while it moves slowly northward, entering the eastern Gulf of Mexico. Percentage in the next 48 hours is 10%, and then through the next 7 days is at 60%. So if this moves up into the Gulf of Mexico, bear in mind the temperature is probably at record-breaking levels, so anything that comes into this could really power up. I wouldn't be surprised to see a hurricane or a major hurricane maybe affecting parts of maybe the Florida Panhandle or even Florida within the next week or so. So definitely something to keep an eye on. We'll take a look again on Sunday. Let's move off into the Central Atlantic. So disturbance number 2, 20% chance of circular formation in the next 48 hours. So Central Tropical Atlantic, disorganized showers and thunderstorms continue in association with an area of low pressure located midway between the Cabo Verde Islands and Northern Lesser Antilles. While environmental conditions are marginal for additional development, they could become more conductive in a few days. A tropical depression could form by early next week while the system moves west-northwestward to northwestward into the central subtropical Atlantic. Formation in the next 48 hours is 20%, and then the next 7 days is 50%. So that's probably something to keep an eye on during midweek next week to the latter part of next week. These could be one of the systems that was showing on the GFS coming into the Central Atlantic for days 10 to 14. We've got tropical disturbance 1 with 50% chance of cyclone formation in the next 48 hours. So Central Subtropical Atlantic, which is the remnants of Tropical Storm Emily, a trough of low pressure located more than 1,000 miles east-southeast of Bermuda. The remnants of former Tropical Storm Emily is producing an elongated area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Recently received satellite wind data suggests that the system has lost organization from yesterday, but a tropical depression or storm still could form as it moves northward over the subtropical Central Atlantic. By this weekend, the system is expected to merge with a frontal boundary north of the Gulf Stream. Then, for additional information on the system, including gale winds, see high seas forecast issued by the National Weather Service. So, for the formation for the next 48 hours and 7 days, are both at 58%. Just bear with me a second while I turn my light on because it seems to suddenly got dark in here. And we've also got Franklin, Tropical Storm Franklin, just north of Hispaniola. And that is currently moving northeastwards at 7 miles an hour with maximum sustained winds of 60 miles an hour. So it's currently heading northeastwards for turning more towards the north at the weekend, and looks like possibly just staying out towards the west of Bermuda, but strengthening as it does so as it heads up towards northwest of Bermuda. Still lots of uncertainties of its track. It could head very close towards the eastern seaboard, or it could stay out further, more perhaps head towards Bermuda. There's a bit of uncertainty there as we go beyond the weekend. So let's have a look at the write-up for that, see if I can find it. I can't at this moment in time. So yeah, if it was to hit Bermuda, it will probably early on Sunday, but there's that uncertainty where it could head towards the eastern seaboard. It all depends on the jet stream coming out of America. If it does get picked up, if this storm does get picked up by the jet stream, or the jet stream just holds off and let it come in further towards the west, but something we need to keep an eye on in the next few days. So let's have a look at Eastern Pacific, see if there's anything happening over there. We have got 2 disturbances. Let's have a look at disturbance 2. So Central East Pacific. Showers and thunderstorms continue in association with a low-pressure system located well south of the southern tip of the Baja California Peninsula. Environmental conditions are expected to be conducive for development of this system, and a tropical depression is likely to form during the next few days while it moves west to northwestward over the central portion of the tropical Eastern Pacific. And the next 48 hours is a 60% chance, and the next 7 days is an 80% chance of development. Disturbance 1 is south of southern Mexico. A trough of low pressure located several hundred miles south of the coast of southern Mexico is producing limited shower activity. Environmental conditions appear favorable for some gradual development on this system, and a tropical depression is likely to form during the next few days while it moves slowly towards the northwest or north-northwest. Interest in southwestern Mexico should monitor the progress of this system. So there's potential that this system could be heading more towards the northwest and getting very close to the Mexican coast. So next 48 hours, a 40% chance of development. In the next 7 days is 70%. Well, let's have a look, see what the latest is in the chat. It's very quiet in the comments. Hello to those that are currently watching. So that is the latest from the tropics, from the Atlantic and the Pacific. Just double check on the Central Pacific. Definitely nothing down there at the moment. And let's head back and have a look at the very latest on the thunderstorms affecting parts of northern France. The latest on that. These storms are also just affecting perhaps the northern side of Lille at this very latest stage. In the Randler, actually. Let's have a zoom in on that. So there's no more storms expected across southeastern areas where some storms have affected there. And that's like Lille's just getting a swiping blow there from this first storm. But another storm behind that as well. That could just stay to the north of Lille as well. as it moves towards more of a northeasterly. The next place to be hit by these storms. So Roeselare, the major cities there, you've got Ghent there, and you've got Antwerp for the northwest. Looks like Ghent will be hit by these storms probably in the next hour or two, and Antwerp probably another hour or two later from that if it maintains its strength. Right, I think that is everything covered for tonight. If you want me to cover anything else on these lives, just leave us a comment or message. And that's all I've got for you tonight. Thank you for watching. And have a nice weekend. And I shall see you on Sunday. Thanks for watching. Take care. And goodbye.